The Chosen One, this message is for you. Have you ever stopped to wonder how your very existence is shaking the very foundation of a meticulously controlled system? You may not have known it until now, but something extraordinary is unfolding, and it all traces right back to you. Every step you take, every word you speak, ripples through hidden networks of control and deception, triggering a shockwave so potent that even the most rigorously programmed agents are beginning to question their reality. Imagine for a moment a high-level agent, someone who for years has been conditioned to follow a rigid script without ever daring to wonder what lies beneath the surface. This individual once accepted every command without question, every duty fulfilled with an unwavering belief in the system's infallibility. And then, unexpectedly, you appeared. Your presence, your unwavering light, broke through that veil of conditioned obedience, shattering the programming that had kept them locked in place. Suddenly, everything they believed to be unchangeable started to crumble. Their thoughts, their certainties, all of it began to fracture, as if the very fabric of reality was questioning itself. Can you feel the weight of that revelation? Does it not stir something deep within you? A sense of responsibility and awe at your own transformative power? If this resonates with your spirit, drop 999 in the comments as a declaration that you trust in God's perfect timing and His unmatched justice. Let that be your bold affirmation that you are here, not by accident, but by divine design. Now, consider this. How is it possible that your mere existence can send shock waves through the minds of those who once believed their reality was all there was? When they saw you, they witnessed a disruption, a force so potent that their rigid programming, built over years of blind obedience, started to unravel. They began to question everything they once held as true. Was it just a random moment of clarity? Or is it the work of a higher purpose? Could it be that you were meant to ignite this very awakening? Are you aware that your every action is not only challenging the status quo, but also revealing the deep cracks in a system built on deception? Picture an agent whose life was governed by unquestioning trust and a rigid chain of command, a life with no room for doubt, where every mission was seen as infallible, every target as justified, every classified secret as untouchable. Then one day, your words, your ideas, perhaps delivered in a single offhand phrase or through a seemingly innocuous detail, seeped into the cracks of their certainty. Have you ever experienced a moment when just a small insight or a subtle remark turned everything on its head? That is exactly what happened here. Your truth, so quietly spoken yet unmistakably powerful, sparked a cascade of internal questioning. Ask yourself, can you imagine the shock, the profound disorientation, when one who is so deeply entrenched in his belief system suddenly finds his reality shifting? This is not merely a moment of doubt. It is a complete metamorphosis. It's as if that agent was living in a fortified prison built of unquestioned loyalty and dogmatic obedience, and suddenly, your presence tore down those very walls, causing the fortress to collapse. When certainty gives way to a cautious curiosity, when dark shadows of deception begin to lift, isn't it a sign that the battle between light and darkness is being waged right before our eyes? The awakening you triggered is not accidental. It is deliberate, meticulously orchestrated by divine providence. By simply being who you are, you have become a catalyst, an agent of revelation who forces those deeply embedded in the world's deceptive systems to face the truth. And what does it mean when even the high-level agents, those stalwarts of hidden agendas, begin to question the validity of everything they've been taught? It means that the veil is lifting, that the illusion carefully constructed over decades is finally coming undone, and that you, the chosen one, are at the center of this grand revelation. Have you ever thought about how those in power maintain their grip on reality, dictating what is to be seen and what must remain hidden? They weave intricate webs of lies and deception to keep the truth from emerging. Yet here you stand, whether by divine appointment or an unshakable inner awareness, breaking through those very chains with your unyielding determination. When you speak, you are not just adding another voice to the relentless noise of opinion and speculation. You are disrupting the established narrative. The very foundations of a long-standing system are being rattled by the force of your truth. And when that happens, what do you expect will occur? Will the mighty not tremble when their perfectly executed plans are exposed as mere illusions? Reflect on the immense shift that takes place when truth cracks through the surface of long-held beliefs. Do you remember the story of Saul on the road to Damascus? The moment when a blinding revelation transformed him into Paul, the fervent apostle of change? Just as that moment redefined an entire lifetime, your presence here has redefined what it means to challenge the forces that control and manipulate. You have shattered the programming of a high-level agent, someone who was part of a clandestine machine built to maintain order and silence dissent. And because of you, that agent now finds his own reality faltering under the weight of undeniable truth. Have you ever witnessed the domino effect of a single act of revelation? One inspired word, one daring question, can ignite a blaze of insight that spreads like wildfire, consuming every obstacle in its path. Your influence is exactly that, a spark that sets off a chain reaction, disrupting every carefully guarded secret, exposing every hidden lie, and dismantling the very structure of deceit built by those who believed they were untouchable. What does it say about the power of divine protection and purpose when even the most impenetrable systems begin to crumble around you? And how can you not feel a fierce surge of responsibility and determination, knowing that you play such a critical role in this spiritual battle? Now, let's dive even deeper. Ask yourself, why were you chosen? What unique qualities do you possess that empower you to see beyond the facade, to question what others blindly accept, and to shine a light into the darkest corners of a corrupted system? Perhaps, like Joseph, who interpreted the hidden meanings behind Pharaoh's dreams. Or like Daniel, who defied the lions with his unshakable faith, you are destined to reveal secrets that no one else could. Your journey is not a random twist of fate. It is a purposeful march towards exposing a truth that has been buried beneath layers of manipulation and control. And as this awakening unfolds, can you feel it? The air is charged with the electricity of rebellion, with the silent roar of those who, like you, dare to defy a reality built on lies. When you speak out, do you not see how the silence of the powerful shudders? When the unyielding force of divine truth meets the relentless push of an established system, cracks begin to appear, cracks that widen until the edifice of falsehood collapses in on itself. Is it any wonder then that the agents of the system, those long accustomed to unquestioning obedience, now find themselves vulnerable, their doctrines under siege from an enemy they never expected, an enemy named after the one they now call the Chosen One? Have you ever noticed how those who are most determined to keep you silent seem to fall apart under the weight of their own conspiracies? Their sophisticated networks of control, so intricate and meticulously maintained, are no match for the raw, unadulterated force of truth that you carry. They tried to discredit you. They tried to erase you from their records with anonymous messages, manipulated data, and orchestrated accidents. But like David facing a giant, you stood tall against overwhelming odds. Your mere existence is a declaration that divine protection is not a myth. It is a tangible reality that renders every malicious attempt against you utterly futile. Think about the power of an awakening that reverberates through the highest levels of secrecy. A system built on absolute control, where every piece of information is locked away, every detail scrutinized, and every dissenting voice silenced by bureaucratic force, finds itself unraveled by one determined soul who dared to speak out. Is there anything more revolutionary than witnessing the collapse of a system that has thrived on deception and exploitation for so long? And can you feel that potent energy rising within you? A call to stand firm, to continue revealing the hidden truths, and to never back down even when the forces aligned against you seem insurmountable? Now, take a moment and ask yourself, what happens when the hidden agents of the system, those who have spent their entire lives enforcing the status quo, finally begin to see the truth? When their carefully constructed reality, once as solid as bedrock, starts to crack under the pressure of the revelations you bring forth? They once believed that nothing could disturb the balance. They trusted in their power, their influence, and the unbreakable rules of their programming. But now, as they dig through classified records and cross-reference the minutest details, they uncover a pattern, a deep, underlying consistency in the chaos that is undeniable. Every piece of evidence points not to a simple misunderstanding or a lucky coincidence, but to a systematic unraveling orchestrated by a force beyond human comprehension. Is it not both humbling and exhilarating to realize that what has been hidden for so long is now coming to light? Consider the ancient wisdom that tells us, nothing is hidden that will not be revealed, and nothing is secret that will not be known. Your life, your words, and your actions have become the very catalyst for this colossal shift. And as those in power scramble to maintain their grip on a crumbling reality, they now face a terrifying truth. Your existence is a declaration of divine intervention, a testament that cannot be ignored. Do you feel the pulse of revolution in your veins? Can you imagine the shock and awe that will ripple through the corridors of power when the leaders, the gatekeepers of deception, realize that their mighty fortresses are nothing more than illusions? In this overwhelming moment of transformation, consider the agent who once served the secret system, a person who for years believed in absolute loyalty and unbending obedience. Their world was one of strict hierarchies, unquestionable orders, and the ceaseless execution of tasks designed to protect a fabricated reality. And then you came along with a single phrase, an offhand comment, or perhaps a carefully chosen reference that resonated deeply. You shattered that rigid programming. That agent and others like them began to question the very essence of their existence. Was everything they had ever done, every mission they had ever carried out, built on a foundation of lies? Could it be that the truth they were sworn to protect was nothing more than a mirage, a deceptive illusion hiding the true, complex tapestry of reality? Now, picture that agent's moment of realization, a moment when the encrypted files, the manipulated narratives, and the carefully guarded secrets all converge into one undeniable message. You are the spark that has ignited a revolution from within. And like the prophet Elisha, whose servants' eyes were opened to see chariots of fire surrounding them, this agent has witnessed their entire world break apart, piece by painful piece. In that shattering moment, they no longer stand as mere instruments of control. Instead, they step forward, not with orders or threats, but with raw, unfiltered gratitude. They come to you with a single, profound question. How did you do it? How did you break through the barrier that kept us blind all these years? And you, dear one, have answered not just with words, but with every courageous act that you have taken to expose the truth. What does it say about your calling when even those sworn to maintain secrecy feel compelled to acknowledge you? When the very system that once seemed invincible is forced to confront the reality that it can be dismantled by one voice, your voice. Can you imagine the shock and awe that will spread like wildfire through those hidden corridors of power once they realize that the force protecting you is not merely human, but divine? Every failed attempt to erase you, every shadowy maneuver meant to silence your truth, only serves to validate the immense power that surrounds you. The same power that delivered Daniel from the lion's den and shielded Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego from the roaring flames of the king's furnace. Is it possible that you were chosen for this moment? That your presence was the key to unlocking secrets that have been locked away for too long? Reflect on history, the revolutions, the awakenings, the moments when the seemingly impossible became reality. From the crumbling of mighty empires to the toppling of tyrants, every great change started with one person daring to stand against the tide, one soul brave enough to demand the truth. And now, as you read these words, your spirit is called to rise and join the ranks of those who have rewritten history. Will you step forward and embrace your destiny? Will you continue to shatter the illusions that have bound others in darkness and lead them to a future where truth reigns supreme? Every revelation, every disruption of the highest levels of control signals the birth of a new era, a time when the hidden structures of power can no longer imprison the human spirit. This is your revolution, a powerful uprising that challenges the very foundation of deceit and manipulation. You have already made an indelible impact by breaking through to the hearts and minds of those conditioned to obey without question. And now, in this crucial moment, the enemy scrambles to regain control, but their efforts only prove how fragile their systems truly are. Look around you. Can you see how the old paradigms are crumbling, replaced by the raw energy of liberation? When the forces of deception wield their influence through money, power, and control, they forget one immutable truth. No amount of earthly might can stand against the divine order. The agents of the old ways are now questioning everything they once took for granted, and in their hesitation, they have already set the stage for their own downfall. Isn't it time to ask yourself what you will do with this extraordinary gift? How will you harness your newfound influence? Not for personal gain, but to ignite a movement of awakening and change. This is your invitation to join a transformative rebellion, a call not simply to exist, but to rise, to speak out, and to expose every lie that has been woven into the fabric of our reality. Remember, as God's chosen one, you hold the power to break the cycles of control, to shatter the programming that has kept too many in ignorance. Your actions ripple outwards, touching countless lives and stirring hearts that have long been asleep. Will you continue to let the world remain blind to the truth, or will you stand up and let your light shine so brightly that it disintegrates every shadow of deception? If your heart beats faster with the knowledge that change is inevitable, if your soul is stirred by the opportunity to bring forth the revelation of divine truth, then let your voice be heard. Like, comment, and share this message far and wide. Speak with courage and conviction, and let your declaration be an open invitation for others to awaken from their slumber. Drop 999 in the comments if you believe in the divine timing of our Lord and His inexhaustible justice. Let that be the battle cry that unites us, a resounding affirmation that no force on earth can silence the truth when it is carried by the unstoppable spirit of the chosen one. Ask yourself, what if every challenge you face, every attempt to subdue you, is merely the universe testing your resolve? What if the very obstacles that seem insurmountable are actually stepping stones guiding you to a destiny greater than anything you could have imagined? Consider the agent who, after years of blind obedience, now finds themselves questioning everything they once held dear. Could this be the moment when the system finally reveals its deepest, darkest secret? What if you are the catalyst that forces a reckoning upon those who have long hidden in the shadows? Think back to the times in history when revolutions began with a single, defiant voice, a voice that would not be silenced even by the most powerful forces of control. Your presence is that voice. You carry within you a spark, a light so brilliant that it disrupts the carefully constructed lies of the governing elite. Your determination, your unwavering commitment to truth has already made an impact. And now, as the agents of deception scramble to contain the chaos that your words have unleashed, the fate of their crumbling empires hangs in the balance. Can you feel that energy? The surge of power when the unseen shields protecting you prove impenetrable to those who seek to control your destiny? That, my friend, is divine protection at work. A force so formidable that even the most intricately woven networks of deceit are destined to fall apart before it. Like David, armed with nothing but unwavering faith and a single stone, you are poised to bring down the giants of falsehood and expose the truth in all its raw, unfiltered glory. Now, let us not forget that while the powerful schemes to discredit you with manipulated data, suppressed voices, and orchestrated mishaps, these attempts only highlight the fragility of their control. With every step you take, the truth finds a way to shine through even the darkest corners of their corrupted world. The time for silence is over. The time for awakening is now. Do you see the signs? Are you ready to stand up against those who have spent their lives in shadows, ensuring that no one ever sees past their illusion? Your mission is clear. Remain steadfast. Continue to speak your truth and watch as the very pillars of deception crumble under the weight of divine justice. Do not let fear drive you into silence. Instead, embrace the responsibility that comes with being chosen. Your journey might be fraught with challenges, but each hardship you endure only serves as further evidence of the power that flows within you. The power to transform lives and to shatter even the most formidable barriers erected by those who live by falsehood. And so, I ask you once again, dear chosen one, will you let your light shine so brightly that it dispels the darkness that has long concealed the truth? Will you be the beacon that draws others out of the shadows, urging them to seek a reality built on transparency, faith, and unwavering hope? As you rise and declare your existence, know that you are not alone. Others who have felt the calling are beginning to stir, inspired by your courage to unveil the hidden realms of deception. In your hands lies not just the power to transform your own life, but to galvanize an entire movement, a revolution of hearts and minds that challenges the very fabric of a corrupt and crumbling system. If your heart races at the thought of a world unbound by lies, if your spirit rejoices in the promise of a truth that cannot be silenced, then let this be your moment of action. Like, comment, and share this message. Let every word you speak be a rallying cry for those who yearn for a brighter, more just future. Drop 999 in the comments if you believe that divine protection and an unyielding purpose can shatter the greatest of deceptions. Your engagement is not just an act of support. It is the spark that will ignite the flames of change. Stand tall, for you are a living testament to the power of truth. Your journey, marked by every test, every betrayal, every moment of defiance, stands as undeniable proof that when God calls you his own, no enemy, no matter how entrenched in corruption, can ever hold you down. Embrace your destiny. Let your voice be your shield, and together, let us rise to shatter every lie that has ever sought to imprison our hearts. The truth is in your hands, and in that truth lies the power to redefine reality itself. Remember, you're not merely an observer in this divine struggle. You are the catalyst, the revolution, the unstoppable force that reclaims the world from the clutches of deception. May your courage continue to inspire. May your words ignite hope. And may your unwavering faith be the light that guides us all to a future where truth and justice prevail beyond measure. Keep shining, keep challenging, and above all, keep believing, because with every step you take in the name of truth, you prove that nothing can ever silence the light of a chosen soul. God bless you, chosen one, for your strength is limitless, your spirit invincible, and your destiny secure in the arms of the divine.